I wanted to talk about bloodborne pathogens. Manassas City Public Schools has a bloodborne pathogens exposure control plan. There's a written bloodborne exposure control plan you can reference. Copies of the plan are found in the main office of every school and the nurse's office, as well as here at central office in the nursing supervisor's office. This will explain what a bloodborne disease is, and that bloodborne pathogens are germs that may be found in human blood and some other body fluids that can cause disease in humans. It also lets you know some of the major diseases caused by bloodborne pathogens. This explains to you how bloodborne pathogens are spread and how they can enter the body through a cut, a puncture, a scrape in the skin or mucous membrane, or sexual contact, or a contaminated needle stick or needle sharing, but also through sharp-edged items such as broken glass or safety pins, knives, needles, anything that could be contaminated with blood or body fluids. Sweat, tears, saliva, vomit, urine, and feces are not considered to be potentially infectious unless visible blood is present. Here are some facts about hepatitis. Universal precautions are practices and procedures that help prevent the transmission of bloodborne pathogens. So you want to treat all blood and body fluids as if they are infectious at all times. I go with, if it's wet, don't touch it. That helps a lot. But you want to make sure you have and you know how to use your personal protective equipment, or PPE. You want to follow the district procedures carefully for handling blood and body fluids. And as we all know, hand washing is the best way to prevent the spread of infections. This slide shows you how to wash your hands the correct way. So PPE, or personal protective equipment. Single-use gloves are part of PPE. You want to make sure that there is a supply of gloves that are readily accessible. Most places will have them for you. I'm sure they are carried on the school buses. They will be in the cafeteria, and I know the custodians have them as well. So you want to replace them, however, if they get torn or punctured, or if they lose their ability to function as a barrier. Sometimes they become dry and brittle. You definitely don't want to use them then. You want to get a fresh pair. You don't wash them and try and reuse them. And you want to make sure that you remove the gloves in a way so as to avoid contact with the outer surface. So you're turning them inside out as you take them off, and you place them in a lined trash can, and then you're going to take that lining and throw it out, seal it and throw it out. The next slide will show you how to take them off if you're not familiar with that. Now, for maintenance and food services staff, you guys have additional equipment, and there's additional training and the use of utility gloves. So this slide shows you the correct way to remove the gloves without touching the contaminated surface. So automatic external defibrillators, or AEDs, are in every school. There are several in a school. There's a team that is trained on them, and inside the box that holds the AED is a pouch with reusable gloves and a mask for doing CPR. Now, sharps containers and biohazard bags, utility gloves, goggles and aprons, those are, custodial staff will have those, the nurse would have those, food services may have some of those. I'm not sure what transportation carries on the bus, but I'm sure transportation has access. So custodians, you will be the ones cleaning up, so you will have extra training, as will food services and transportation, on how to deal with bloodborne pathogens. This is an overview that has been approved by the supervisor of nursing for substitutes, but you will receive additional training at your workplace. When we talk about significant exposure, we're talking about any puncture of the skin by a sharp object, such as a needle that contains blood or bodily fluids. If you get bodily fluids or blood splashed on your mucous membranes, your nose, mouth, or eyes, or if there's exposure of broken open skin with blood, saliva, urine, or vomitus, if it contains blood. So what do you do if you're exposed? This will describe what you should do. Don't panic, because most exposures do not result in disease transmission. You immediately wash the exposed area thoroughly with soap and water, and if blood or bodily fluid is splashed onto the face or open cut abrasion or mucous membranes, you immediately flush that with running water. You also immediately report the incident to the principal, supervisor, and the school nurse. And we will arrange for free post-exposure health care, a referral care and follow-up as appropriate, and that includes any necessary immunizations or blood tests. We also need to address food allergies in schools as well. If you aren't aware of what a food allergy is, this is what a food allergy is. The avoidance of known food allergies. These are the 8 foods or food groups that cause the most of the serious reactions in the U.S. These are the symptoms of an allergic reaction to food. So if you do not treat a reaction quickly, you can have someone who goes into anaphylaxis. That is a whole body allergic reaction that is rapid in onset and may cause death. And that can be caused by food, insect venom, medication, or latex. The gloves in the schools are not latex. So the treatment of anaphylaxis is treatment by an EpiPen for a serious reaction. You will be, if this is something that you need to cover with your department, they will cover this for you. You are not expected as a substitute to administer EpiPens. This lets you know why we should be prepared to address food allergies in schools, though. So, food allergies are life-threatening, and they can be considered a disability under federal laws. Also, you need to, as we talked about FERPA and policies and regulations, the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, medical information about students also falls under HIPAA, not only FERPA, but HIPAA. It is illegal to disclose confidential medical or information about students. And parents and caregivers can file a claim if their student is not treated correctly. So we do have a focus on school safety because we want, it's not only the safety of our students and our staff, but it's visitors too. So we want everybody to be safe in our school division. And when you're working in a school or for a school, you need to be prepared to make the right decision at the right time. And during an emergency, you will need to be prepared to respond effectively according to the division's emergency plan. And we do owe our students the best possible educational experience every day. And as a substitute, you are an instrumental part of the learning experience. So we appreciate your dedication to our students and our schools, and we welcome you to the team.